Good afternoon. This is Wednesday, July 3rd. This is Smoking My Brisket Part 2. Continuing on today, this is Cracker's Crazy Living. Thank you for joining. Brisket's been going for 8:30, 9:30, 10:30, 11:30, 3 hours. Debating what to do next. I'm going to show you what it looks like. My fire, I put too much charcoal in my grill. When you watch these professional guys on YouTube, they don't really tell you how much charcoal to start with. They just kind of dump it in there. So that's what I did this morning. But I got my fire was way too hot. It was like 500-600 degrees. So I've been, after I got it smoked, I just let it go for a while. And then I started to try to cool it down by taking the lid and like putting, like setting the lid at it in a jar so it would let some of that heat out. So it would keep the temperature down. Trying to keep it down to 225, 300, but it's not going down that low. This is what my brisket looks like. I don't even know if you can see it. Here's what it looks like. It's got a nice bark on it. It's starting to pool a little bit right there. Having a hard time. It's got nice crispy bark on it. I'm thinking, because you usually wrap it after it's been cooking for several hours. However, because it was cooking so hot, I don't want to turn it into complete char. So what I think I'm going to do is I think I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take my probes out of it, and I'm going to pull my probes out. It's nowhere near done. Nowhere near done. It's got a long way to go. But what I think I'm going to do, because it's got this nice bark on it now, I don't want it to just completely burn away. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap it in the butcher paper and then put it back on there, because the butcher paper will help protect the meat. It'll help protect it a little bit better, I think. And it'll keep it from overcooking too much. This one guy says, so if you screw up your brisket, you chop it up, put sauce on it, and eat it. It tastes just fine. Oh, this is nice. Get a nice, I've never bought butcher paper before. This is Reynolds butcher paper. It's got this nice little zipper cutter thingy on it. So that's pretty nice. So I'm going to get this open. And I'm going to cut me off a big piece of it. I can leave it in the butcher paper and just let it cook on there for the rest of the day. And it won't get overcooked. I'm going to pull out a really nice big piece. Yeah, that works pretty nice. Darn. Alright, so I'm going to put my tongs here to keep my paper from blowing away. It's not too overly windy today. I'm going to put my big thermal gloves on. I'm going to attempt to pick this thing up. And internal temperature of it right now is only 135. And I know you don't normally wrap it until it hits about 150, 160. But like I said, I'm not gonna I gotta open this up. I'm not gonna let it overcook. I don't want it to overcook on the outside. So, I'm gonna get this thing picked up. It hasn't really shrunk that bad. How am I gonna wrap this? It's almost too long to wrap it that direction. Holy camole. I do think I'm gonna take this rack off of here, or at least move it out of my way. I've got these beautiful drippings down in here in this pan. I want to be able to pour some of this on top of my meat. My table's almost not big enough. Try to get these gloves off. Oh gosh. I just added a little bit of, I need more room. I don't have enough room here. Let me go get my other table. Sadie? Hold on, I gotta go find my dog. Okay. I don't know what your temperature in wherever you're watching, but it is so hot down here in Florida. I could barely stand to breathe. I got my tent up today, not specifically because of the sun. However, it does help immensely. But we put it up in case it rained, and I'm still grilling out here because this could take up to 10 hours or longer. So, all right, so I got my butcher paper. I grabbed another table, and I'm going to attempt to wrap this thing up. See if I can move it over here so you can see what I'm doing. It's huge. This is a humongous piece of meat. I'm going to take some of these pan drippings and just kind of like pour it over the top. Ooh. So it gets on the paper. You want that. Apparently you want that. And then I'm just going to wrap it like a Christmas present. Oh man, got that juice that ran out and it's all over me. Ugh, grief. All right, I need to get another piece of paper. Jeepers. I'm going to double wrap this. I don't know how that poured out all over me. All right, I'm gonna wrap this. I'm gonna flip it over. Oh shoot, that's not a good idea. I'm gonna wrap it again. Should go get some kind of tape. I don't think I'm gonna need it. All right, I got it wrapped up. You can see it, nice pretty package. I put some of that meat juices in there so it stays moist. Gonna put the grill grate back on. I have to put my gloves on. Hold on, I gotta get these gloves on here. I can't do it without it. All right. I might have to add a couple more chunks of charcoal. I'm gonna put this big old hunk of meat back on. No, that's not good. It's not hooked in. It went underneath the grate instead of on top of it. Get this damn thing out of here. Put this back on. Hopefully my paper won't catch fire. Put that back on. Let me see if I need to add a couple more chunks of charcoal. My fire here, I can't even see in my camera. My fire is just about gone. So I'm going to add a couple more pieces of charcoal to it. I'm done smoking, so I'm not going to add any more smoking material. 4 chunks of charcoal is what I'm adding. I'm going to flip this back down. I put the lid back on. I think I'm going to put my probe back into it. Where's my white probe? I don't know which one is which. I got sweat in my eye. It's so hot out here. All right. I had this stupid thing all set now. This is the point. Put that back on. Sweat in my eye. Yeah, I still have my thing set. I'm gonna put that down there. So I'm just gonna monitor at this point in time. I'm gonna monitor the temperature. I want it to get to like 225, 250. and I want it to stay there for several hours. So that's why I'm only putting a couple of chunks of charcoal on there. I was trying to keep a probe in there to monitor the temperature inside the kettle without me having to keep coming out here, but I don't think that's going to work. I'm going to put two more pieces. And just let that go. The lid on. I'm gonna. All right, my point is now at 156 internal temperature. So that is really, I don't know. Some of them go 165, some of them go higher, some of them go 150. It just depends. I might have wrapped it a little bit prematurely, but it's not going to hurt anything. The one guy, he took it off, he wrapped it up, he stuck it in his oven at 250 degrees and just let it go until it reached 208, however long that took. It's at 200 right now. My charcoal is just trying to get going. Yeah. So I'm going to let that go. Even if it stays at 200, I think that'll be okay, because it cooked so high so fast. Now if it stays low for the majority of the afternoon, that might be better. So stay tuned. It's going to be a while, but it's looking good. It's not looking horrible. It's smelling really good. It smells absolutely amazing. And I'm going to go sit down and rest. I'm getting tired. One thing about the sinus infection I was fighting is it takes a lot of energy out of you. I didn't have a lot to start with. And it's hot as blazes out here. And there's no real air movement. So I'm going to go inside. I'm going to take my meter with me and watch it from the couch. The only thing is I can't tell what temperature it is. And I don't know how accurate this is. $207. 223. I'm just going to slightly vent it, the kettle top. Hopefully it'll stay. It's reading 280. I've got the smallest fire I could ever make in there, so I don't know how I could make it any smaller, honestly. Anyway, okay. Have a great afternoon. I'll be back later. I'll make another video. This is going to be like a 4-parter, I think. by the time it's all said and done. I don't know how to edit videos, so I don't know how to like splice all these videos together to make one cohesive video. I don't know how to do any of that. So that's why I have to come on and do parts, part 1, part 2, etc. So, all right, I'll catch you later. Thanks for watching. I'll be back.